Anya Parampil is a journalist. She's with the Grayzone, which breaks news that other places won't. We're happy to have her on tonight. Anya, thanks so much for coming on. So we've been, in a fairly sincere way, trying to figure out what the message is. Obviously, the core message is Trump's bad. A lot of people agree with that. That's fine. But what else is Kamala Harris running on? Do you know?
I don't, Tucker, and I think if Democrats really cared about people of color, they would end policy of war on people of the world. But unfortunately, Kamala Harris voted against a very meager decrease in the Pentagon's budget, just 10% a few weeks ago. It's very clear that in office, she'll act as nothing more than a marionette for the very people who destroyed countries such as Libya and are actually responsible for bringing slavery back to the African continent. And this is the point that I think is so interesting when it comes to foreign policy, Tucker, is that President Trump has given the Democrats a perfect opportunity to oppose him in a meaningful way. He recognized an individual even he described as the Beto O'Rourke of Venezuela and has overseen a failed coup in that country. He's implemented crushing, brutal sanctions against the people of Syria who are now struggling to rebuild after years of war waged by the United States and its allies. Many people who crafted that war will likely be in a Biden administration. And Trump even pushed us close to a hot war with Iran earlier this year when he made the decision to assassinate General Qasem Soleimani, someone who actually fought alongside the United States in its fight against ISIS. And here's the thing. The Democratic base rejects all of these policies, but the Democratic elite don't seem to care. In fact, Tucker, what's amazed me as I watched this convention is that the only jobs program Democrats have offered the public in the midst of a global health crisis and economic crisis is a jobs program for washed-up criminal neocons.
Washed-up criminal neocons. The architects of the foreign policy disasters you're describing seem to have gone almost as a group to the Democratic Party and are supporting the Harris-Biden ticket. Why do you think that is?
Tucker, I think the neocons just don't seem to die. We have Elliot Abrams, the architect or major player of Iran-Contra, for some reason overseeing Iran and Venezuela policy in the Trump administration. But you have people like Bill Kristol, chicken hawk who couldn't punch his way out of a paper bag, actually supporting Biden. People such as Colin Powell revived on the international stage, or on the national stage, I should say. And this is the thing, Tucker. Anyone who supported the Iraq War, such as Colin Powell, such as Elliot Abrams, it should be discredited in the eyes of the U.S. public, and in fact is. The only person I was missing from this whole event was Colin Powell's little vial of anthrax, and I think he may have thrown out his credibility with that vial when he brought it to the United Nations and lied the United States into a war with Iraq.
That made us weaker. Anya Parampil, thanks so much for coming on tonight. I appreciate it.